the right, and Maryland State Delegate Ana Sol Gutierrez from the left. Welcome to Hispanic Agenda.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Ana Sol Gutierrez, thank you for being here. It's the first time doing the political panel.
This is lovely. I love it.
Hope to have you many times more. But first, let's start with the government shutdown. Thank God we have a deal now. The financial ratings agency, Standard & Poor's, said Wednesday that the shutdown to date has taken $24 billion out of the economy. 800,000 government employees furloughed. Tax revenue impact to D.C., a decrease of $6 million a week. Was this worth it?
Absolutely not.
Especially since we're going to be in the same place in about 3 months.
Absolutely not. And I think that the damage goes beyond that, because it really is the prestige of the United States and the whole world for anybody to take the risk to come this close to really shutting down government and the banks and the market. I think is absolutely irresponsible. It was not worth it. I think that where we're going now with this committee to begin to look at what they can find in both budgets to find middle ground, I think that's the way to go. I hope that this does not occur in the next round, because the country can't sustain it. Politically, economically, it just makes absolutely no sense.
Julie Pino, congressional leaders in the Republican Party, specifically in the House, have they been irresponsible in the way, in their whole strategy with the government shutdown? I mean, they don't have much to show for it.
I think Congress,
what did they get?
I think Congress and the President have been irresponsible on this. I don't think the President took leadership to bring both parties together to come to a solution before this two-week debacle. And I think this new deal is actually a great tragedy for the country. I don't think it really gets to the heart of the matter, which is a tremendous spending habits. We are still indebted, and it doesn't address spending cuts. There are no spending cuts in this deal. So 6 months from now, we're going to be in the same boat. Okay, let's get a budget together, get the President, get the Senate, and get the Republicans in place, and start working on a deal that will get us back on track. The true victims of this situation is going to be the next generation. They're going to be, holding the bag for these spending habits and this wasteful attitude in Washington with our tax dollars.
Talking about this country's spending habits, isn't that irresponsible? The fact that we are not, that we owe so much money.
Alejandro, that is not what should be the only item that we're discussing, and unfortunately the agenda has been narrowed so much onto spending cuts, spending cuts. We already have huge spending cuts. The President has initiated enormous spending cuts. The sequester is destroying, devastating education, Head Start. We see no longer any kind of social safety net. It's all being eroded, and we need to consider those issues too. We need to find what is the solution that works for everybody, not just for this concentration on the debit.
We are becoming a nation dependent on the government, and that's sad. That's not America.
The government works. That's what we just realized in 2 weeks.
The government
is essential.
It's not working. It's the private sector that's moving the country forward.
I want to ask about what's next.
The private sector could not run this country. The private sector could never run this country. And
well,
I
not
think
the country, the economy.
Well,
that's what the private sector's for.
We need government for all kinds of things. We need it for transportation.
To protect our
we
Constitution.
need it for education. No, we need government so that we, as a civilized society.
I knew this was going to be a very interesting political panel, because we have very feisty guests. I want to move on, and I want to ask you about what's next. Ever since the deal was reached, I hear immigration back in the conversation. The President of the United States, President Obama, recently said to the Los Angeles affiliate of Univision, he said, once it's done, referring to the shutdown, the day after, I'm going to be pushing to say, call a vote on immigration reform. Now, I commend his intention to get a vote on the House floor. Now, does his intention match his influence on Congress?
Well, I think absolutely we need the President to put a focus on immigration reform again. But what I really commend is the bipartisan effort in the House. Without the House moving anything, we're stuck. What they have done in the last 2 weeks is come forth with a bipartisan bill that is somewhat better than what the Senate proposed, if we are able to do exactly the same thing that was done last night with the CR, bring that bill to the floor, not apply any hazard, allow a vote, that will pass. We already know that we have the votes to go then into conference. Conference is the way that we resolve the differences.
Thank you. And as Judy Pino, I have 15 seconds.
And I agree with the delegate on that.
Go ahead.
I think it's important that both parties understand the importance of immigration reform, especially for the Hispanic community. They are key players in this country now and in the future, and they need to work to get this resolved, work bipartisan, in a bipartisan manner to get to reform.
And what's so important is that it'll help our economy. Yep. It's been proven over and over again that if we legalize this workforce, it's a potential huge investment.
That is the best argument for immigration
absolutely.
Reform. Now it's time for our political clues, what we should be keeping an eye on the days to come. I'll start with you, Ana Sol Gutierrez. Any political clue? Any political
well, I think that there's going to be some aftermath, I think, within the Republican Party after what I consider is a real failure.
Will Speaker Boehner keep his speakership?
I have a feeling that he's going to be challenged, but he'll keep it simply because there's nobody else.
Judy Pino, political clues.
I'm going to take it up north as we look towards the election. Chris Christie has a very good chance of getting his governorship again and potentially drawing some of that political power into the state house. And we'll see what happens, but he's a great contender.
And probably we'll see him in 2016, right?
I think so.
All right. Thank you, Judy Pino. Ana Sol Gutierrez, thank you so much.
Thank you, Alejandro.
That was our political panel. When we come back, a congressional mandate could be to blame for the current boom in immigration enforcement.